Howdy, everybody.
What up? What's up, man?
How's everything, buddy?
You're good, man.
Awesome, man.
Oh, shit.
Get that camera off.
No, I'm getting that damn YouTube shut up so I don't have to hear myself talk.
Oh, yes, bud. Howdy, Amster. How are you?
AM Star, any fan? I thought any fan had to go.
Yeah, he had to just drop over and say hi. You know what it is?
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Okay, I got it. Hey, Josh, again. There's that damn oddity for accountability and what the
Hey,
fuck?
boy.
You'll let
Um,
anybody in your chat, won't
I sure would.
you?
Josh, it's free, man. I'm doing it for free. But apparently it's $20 a month or something. Tammy can tell you more
25.
about it.
It's
25, right? Whoops.
yeah, it's $25 for a month. You'll get 10 slots instead of 6 to be able to have people on your panel, and you get several other little upgrades that you don't normally get with the free StreamYards. But you can't pay $25 a month, or I think it drops down to $17.50 a month if you pay for a whole year. I'm not exactly sure how much a whole year costs, though, but it drops it down to $17.50 a month, whatever that comes up to. So,
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I just want to do the free shit.
yeah, same here. With all this censorship, one wrong word, they shut you down. Your fucking money just went out the damn window. It ain't worth
And
it right now.
I'm bound to say something stupid too. What's up, Poor Dirt?
Hey, poor dirt farmer.
I'm definitely bound to say something stupid. So,
Hey,
but
Shafine.
that's a part of it, though.
Yeah, I mean, so needless to say, so it ain't to me. It ain't worth the freaking chance of losing the money.
Well, that's what I say, man. Like for me, the times that I do get on, chances are it's going to be late, so people are looking for somewhere they go to let off a little bit of steam, and I'm cool with that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Just keep it peaceful towards everybody else, and let's have our say. You know what I mean? That's what it's here for, is to get everybody educated on what we're doing and why we're doing it, and just putting it out there and making sure everybody understands that we're not just out trying to be fucking dicks to the government or the cops. We just want change.
Hmm.
That's what I'm doing it for.
Yeah, that's the same as me. I want to change. I don't want this bullshit. We're better than you. We can do whatever the fuck we want. Like shit like that type going on. Because they ain't. They ain't no more better than me or you.
That's right. What's going on, Dexter?
Dexter the kitty cat.
Holy shit, boss, you keeps popping up all these comments. I'm not gonna have enough time to post them all.
You know, I hope Joe Cool does stay safe. That storm so bad it actually made the national news just a few minutes ago.
What was it?
That storm that Joe Cool was showing us over there when he
Yeah,
was on Dirty Minds.
yeah.
That storm made it on the national news just a little bit ago. So I hope he's all right. I hope he stays safe.
You know he's safe, boy. Joe Cool, Joe motherfucking Cool, right?
Yeah. So,
What's going on, Myron?
hey, Mary, long
Oh,
time no see.
yeah.
That's the way it is. I like that little pipe, Myron. That's pretty cool, buddy.
Yeah, it's not bad. Got it on Amazon,
Oh,
I think it was.
He's in
fuck yeah.
Ohio right now, M Star.
That looks really cool, yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome, dude. I love the tooling on the wooden
Yeah,
stem. That's
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool.
It's really
And
cool,
then
yeah.
I do like your little flipper. So if you want to just ash it out, or you can use it as your little thing to stopper it. To get the embers going again.
Yeah, I could never ever do a pipe. I was always a joint smoker. Ever since I'm 10 years old, man, it's always been joints.
Right.
yeah, and it would be for me too, but I smoked too many in a day.
Yeah, I hear you. I used to be that way, but I had to give it up. Well, I didn't have to, but not working, man. It's hard to be smoking an ounce of weed a fucking week and paying for it and with a family, right?
Well,
Yeah, no problem on the M Star. And for work, I talk to a lot of people about Ohio, a lot of Ohio people. Yeah, they were talking about the storms coming in over Ohio right now, and it's a big long line of storms coming in over Ohio, and some of them pretty fucking nasty and bad.
That's why. Um, I'm gonna try to make a mod there, so you can share your stuff there.
Kitty Kitty Dexter.
But if anybody wants to share their links or anything, go mad. I don't know how to do it on the computer, so have fun doing what you got to do.
Dexter, what are you doing? What are you doing, Dexter? Uh-oh. He's got a cord. He's got a cord. Yeah, Grand Ogre, he's got a cord.
What do you mean, Josh? Do I know any good land? Like, do you mean for sale?
I didn't know what that cord was to, but damn, that could have been bad. Him chewing on that cord like that.
well, really, the cops are back again now. One cop is back again.
One cop, imagine.
Well, there was three. After a while, two more turned up, and then
Okay.
one went this way and two went that way with their lights on, and they went one block, and then they went north.
Looking
So
for somebody.
this guy came back.
They're definitely looking for someone.
Hi, Hossel.
Hostle's back. Hey,
Well,
Hostel, my soon-to-be wife.
Hi, Damn Star too.
hello, everybody.
Yeah.
I like the fish tank, man. Look at all them fish in there.
And there's
That's
another one
one
over
life.
right there. Then there's another one over right here. And there's another one over right there. And then there's about five more upstairs.
Damn, you
That's
like your fish tanks, don't you?
I love them, man.
Now, my question is, have you ever caught any local fish before and put them in a fish tank?
I haven't because I haven't been fishing for it. Like the last time I went fishing, I might have been 18, but
Okay.
I don't really have anything big enough for fish here. Like, but again, I wouldn't mind catching one and throwing it in the tank just to have a laugh and see it swimming around.
Well, I actually did that when I was younger, and I had a 155 gallon tank,
Nice.
and and I put bass in it. I put crappie in it. I put some brim in it and some bluegill, and a couple of pumpkin seeds in there.
No,
And
that's a bit different. 125 gallon is a lot bigger than 55, right?
8 pound.
a 150-gallon tank is a hell of a lot bigger.
Right?
Yeah, so that's huge. It takes two full-grown men that are pretty hefty to move it without water in
Yeah.
it. You won't.
All right.
It
Well,
would. Yeah. It's heavy. It's a very heavy tank. It's made to hold water pressure, things like that.
uh, I can imagine. Like, I got one of my 55s is like double the thickness of all my other ones. So I was like, oh my god, what's going on with this? But they're good, man. I've had them for almost 2 years.
Mhm. Yeah,
You know,
you gotta remember the more water pressure, so the thicker it's got to be to hold water
oh
pressure.
yeah, I love it though. I love my fucking fish tanks. Love them.
Yeah. Oh, I did too, man. And watching them fish though, them local fish, I learned how to
Mm-hmm.
fish. I learned how to fish for fish because I seen how they reacted to weather patterns. I seen how what they would eat, what they wouldn't eat, when they'd eat it, shit like that. Like the bass when low pressure were coming in, the bass would not even come close to a fucking crawdad, but they'd eat the hell out of a worm. Okay,
All right.
but when it was high pressure, I could get a bass. The bass would eat the crawdads and not so much the worms.
All
Uh,
right.
so I applied that to my fishing, and my fishing became so much better. You know, things like that. I learned a lot from them fish. I learned how they went up and down with the pressures and things like that. Low pressure, them fish were on the bottom of that tank. High pressure, they were right up at the top of the tank. It's real interesting.
Yeah. Again, I haven't been fishing for a while, so I probably wouldn't even know how to catch a fucking fish now.
Oh, but the easiest way for you to catch fish, if you're worried about catching fish, go get a fucking night crawler, put it on a hook, and put it under a bobber.
Oh, that's all I do. I don't do nothing else. I don't fly fish. I don't do nothing like that. It's just straight bobber and fucking worm.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to catch a fish.
Well, doesn't work for moon eye and gold eye. It's better to have grasshoppers for them.
Okay, what's a moon eye and a gold eye?
Fish that we have up here.
Right, but is that like in the trout family? Is it salmon? Is it
I'll, I'll look it up for you.
okay.
I don't really know what it is.
Thank you, Pandora.
There's 2 living species native to North America and 3 to 5 extinct species. Also hunt for gold eye. But anyways, we got them on the river that
Oh,
goes
so
back.
they're an actual fish all their own. So that's what I'm looking up here. They're an actual fish all their own. Okay, I've never heard of a. At least that's the moon eye. I've never heard of one until now. That's awesome.
Or the gold eye. Have you heard of the gold eye?
I'm gonna look it up now. I'm not. That's why I asked.
See, you've got the gold eye in the northern United States.
I love fishing too. I just haven't done it in a long time. Oh, you're on the way up, Ogre. Here you go.
Howdy, howdy, everybody.
What's up, brother?
How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good.
Oh, so the gold eye and the moon eye are actually related to each other, but they're like kissing cousin type fish.
Yeah.
You know. And
Brown lips, you
Is
mean,
that
Hassel?
the type of cousins you have?
I don't go to family reunions like you do to meet my sister to have sex the next night.
You said kissing cousins.
Yeah, so that means you would be the only one here that has a kissing cousin as well.
Pink eye.
Brown eye, sometimes. Just saying, hustle. Just saying. You start your limit, but don't. I'm not fond of it at all.
I think the cops are on to me now. They don't even bother me no more. They don't even look at me. They don't stop. They don't talk to me. They don't even fucking wave to me no more, man. I'm starting to have to figure out new places to go.
Gonna say you're gonna have to leave Newfoundland just to go find a cop that'll fuck with you, huh?
Or
No,
just start hitting the smaller communities in and around, right?
yeah, and that's the thing. I don't drive, right? So I'm limited to where I can go and all that shit. So it sucks, but it is what it is for now. You know what I mean?
I
Get an
try to
electric
bring.
scooter.
Sorry, Big Red, I'm ready to step over you. All right. Stepping on an
So,
ogre is hard to do anyway, you know what I mean?
all right. Howdy, Melvin. How are you, brother?
And Melvin, also, I try to bring some comedy to the panels. Some people take me serious sometimes, some people don't. A lot of times I ain't so serious. Yeah.
And there's no point of being serious. And if you're being serious, it's got to be about an issue that everybody sees and understands what you're getting on with. And if not, be it to a point so that everybody understands what you're talking about, and then we're all going to be serious about it. I mean, but if you're being serious to the point that you're telling somebody off, well, it's not funny then.
All right.
Right? So
And M
that's my
Star says she loves fishing. I love fishing too, M Star. But I noticed the further north I get, the more fish I don't know. But then again, I fish so much in the Midwest and the South. I know most of the fish down there. And some of them down there have 2 or 3 different names, that people give them. And I know most of the extra names.
Uh,
I don't no names.
no hustle. I've had this one for quite a while. I just haven't pulled it out in a while.
That is a fucking awesome little pipe. I love that pipe.
We haven't
I would
steadily.
smoke tobacco out of a pipe like that.
Well, that's probably what it was for, but
Yeah.
it's got a nice deep. It's got to be at least to there. I would
Yeah,
say,
that's a tobacco bowl.
yeah,
That's
and
nice.
that big round.
Yeah, that's a tobacco bowl. I like that pipe. It's really awesome. I think it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a peace pipe.
No.
Every time you smoke it, you feel at peace.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Same here, Amster. I don't think I've done anything else but trouting.
I I have fished for every fish known to man in the Midwest, South, some up north, not so far as Canada and stuff. I'm noticing like Canada really has a lot of different species, and I have not done much salmon fishing. And the one time I did do salmon fishing, I never even caught a salmon. So uh, uh, I'd like to catch some salmon. I'd like to catch lake trout in one of these Great Lakes, things like that. It sounds like it'd be great fun. I've caught rainbow trout. There's one over out west that I want to catch so bad it ain't even funny. It's called a golden trout, and you can only find up in real high level, real fresh, clean, clear, glacial type lakes in the mountains out west. You know.
Banff and Jasper, I would imagine mostly.
Well, any high up above the alpine layer lakes generally have them in it in the mountains. So yeah, from the research I've done on them, because I intend to catch one day. You've heard of Liberty Bird, right? He
Mm,
he uh, he's caught some out by his place, things like that.
Jeez. Yeah, it's an EA, not an IE hustle.
That's funny, hustle. That really is. No, I only feed them twice a day. Once in the morning. My daughter will get up when she gets up in the morning. She gives them their food, and then once after she's done school, so around our dinner time, she'll give him a bowl of food, and that's about it. Whatever he eats, he eats. If he's got some left over and he wants to munch on it later, he can. But if he eats it all, he eats it all.
Right? I only give the cat once a day, man. That's it. Let's the daughter feed it. It's not my cat. I fucking hate him.
But I,
I
I
love cats, but I fucking hate cats at the same time.
you love
Dude,
cats, you
I
hate
have the
cats.
same feeling with fish. My buddy and his wife gave my daughter fish for her birthday, and I've had the thing now for they've had it down here for 2 weeks, and it's just a tiny little tank, and it had two little fish in it. It had babies, and now I got a shit ton of fucking snails in it. I'm looking at it, and I just want to
Yeah.
toss it out the window. I hate cleaning fish tanks. I haven't cleaned it in 2 weeks. I got to get into it because it's starting to turn yellow. My daughter's like, Daddy,
But
it doesn't look very well. I'm like, I know, I gotta clean it tomorrow. I'm sorry. She's like, I
hey,
count like 9 or 10 snails. I'm like, oh,
Are they little tiny
Big
like
Red.
brownish color ones?
yeah, man.
Pet snails.
The people I got them from, she had to take and clean out one of her. She's only got the one tank. She had to bear it right down. She had to take everything out, soak everything in bleach, and for a week, she basically cleaned everything out. She's got none left, but it happened to be maybe one of those little fucking things that she put in the tank for my daughter. Might have had one little snail thing that she didn't find on it, and now
Mhm.
they've just gone nuts.
I guarantee you, man. Even if she told you they were gone, you'll still find hundreds.
Yes, yes, because it makes you microscopic, and unless you actually totally bleach and let the bleach sit in the tank for about 2 weeks, you'll never kill them all off.
And even then, you're still alone. Like I'm after doing everything. Like I got them in probably 5 of my 10 tanks, and I don't mind them because I just crush them up and the fish will eat them. But it sucks with them, man. If you get them bad, because I'm heavy-handed feeding my fish, so that causes them to get really fucking growing, man, and it
What
sucks.
you
But it
what
is.
you need to do, Big Red Ogre, is go spend a couple of dollars or whatever they cost up there in Canada, and get yourself one of them Oscars. Well, not
Yeah,
Oscars. What
Yeah,
is
no,
that called?
this
That's
thing is
sucker fish. That's sucker fish.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, but this tank is actually it's an old. It was for a beta fish, one of those
5 gallon.
Japanese whatever.
Oh, is it
That's all
itty
it was
bitty?
for. It's just a tiny little tank. It really is. It was just they thought it'd be a good idea as a gift. I begged them not to do it because I hate fish as pets, and they did it anyway. So now I'm stuck with it. So
But you know what I found out about cats? I'm not a cat person, not very much of a cat person. Okay, I like your cats, but I'm not much on them. And
you like my cats because you don't have to clean up after them or deal with them. You just get to look at them.
right, right. But you know what's funny is when I get around cats and I push them away and I tell them to leave me alone. I don't want you around me, whatever. It seems like that cat pushes harder and harder and harder for me to like them. It's funny as hell. I've literally had people's cats that they said, "Oh, them cats will eat you up, and my cat will eat you up. It hates people." Blah 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 blah. Have them in my lap, purring at me, trying to get me to pet them because I didn't pay them any attention. I didn't show them any kindness. I didn't show them nothing. And the cat, it seems like cats pick up on that and want to be your friend. Then. You know, it's like really weird. They're very very what do you call that? Narcissistic.
Mhm.
Cats are narcissistic.
You're damn right.
Yeah.
This one we got is only about 3 months old. I don't know. Let me see if I can start it. And he's a little, or she's a little fucking witch. Let me get this
You make
big.
me laugh when you say that about a 3 month old
Oh,
cat
there
and
we
a
go.
little witch.
Hello,
Oh, it's so
cat.
cute though. I had a
Like,
cat. Her
okay,
name
I
was
like you.
Pita. Pita stood for pain in the ass. She was
Yeah.
about half as long as any normal cat, half as tall. She was just an odd shaped cat. She looked like one of those Egyptian cats. She was dark gray with like black stripes. She was gorgeous, but she used to come with me everywhere like a dog. I had a leash for her. She'd wrap around my neck. She'd come in my truck, my car. She'd come to work with me sometimes. I treated her like a dog. She went everywhere with me.
Well, this one here is still too small. I want to get a fucking collar or something for it and be able to
Now,
take what the daughter do. So I'm like looking for it, and the collars are still too small. Even little puppy harnesses are too small for it, man. It's like, what the fuck? But it
now
is what it is.
A
the
collar with
coolest
a
cat
belt.
I ever had the privilege of actually being around though was a friend of mine had a Florida Panther that he raised from a little cub because the mama got killed and they found her and he raised it. He was what do you call it, a rehabilitator. Well, the cat never took back into the wild. He couldn't get it back going back into the wild. So I got to meet this cat. Its name was Fubar, literally. And
Oh Jesus!
now Fubar, it was funny when I met Fubar. Fubar was in a pissy ass mood, and Vance told me stay away from because I kept trying to get close to Fubar because I wanted to see Fubar up close. And he said, "Don't get near Fubar. Leave Fubar alone. She's in a pissy mood." Well, she hissed at me, and I sat there and I smacked that cat on the nose, and I said, "Bitch, you better calm the fuck down." You know that cat was my friend after that for the rest of till it died. Almost 8 years later, Fubar would come running across the field just to see me when she heard my voice. That cat loved me after that.
What's going on, Keeper? How are you, brother?
Now I
No,
like
Tammy, she was
Fubar.
just waiting for you not to be paying attention so she could pounce on you and eat you for smacking her.
That cat never offered a bad move or bad bone to me after that one time. And I used to take her for walks. I used to fucking do everything. Now that's fun. Try taking a fucking panther for a walk on a leash and it see a deer. You better be either hanging on or you better be willing to let go quick because that cat's going to drag your ass if you ain't got the ass to hold it back. Ogre, you might have the ass to hold it back. I'd say, but you know, take a big man like you.
I've got to pet a panther. There was a place just outside of Barrie called Elmville. They had a place called the Elmville Zoo. It was just a
Mhm,
tiny little place, and the guy I played hockey with, I think it was
mhm.
his uncle or somebody he knew really well that owned it. So I used to go in and help out and feed because I loved animals and stuff. But they had a panther. It was an old thing. It was like 15-year-old panther. It was all its life captivity. Friendly as hell. But I got to feed it a couple times. Never took it for a walk. I got to sit with it, pet it, and it was just like a big friendly cat. But that's about as close as I ever got to a big cat, other than him. Dexter's the next biggest cat I've ever gotten close to.
Yeah. I'll tell you what was funny is someone decided to try to break into Vance's truck. Okay. Well, he had not a truck. I call it a truck. You know, them Suburbans. Well, Fubar was down in the floor of the Suburban and laying down. And someone tried to break into that, and Fubar came up out of that fucking back seat to the front seat where they were trying to break in. That son of a bitch took off running like a motherfucker. We were coming out of the store when it was all going down. It was the funniest shit ever. That guy about shit all over himself when he saw that big fucking panther come up into the front seat and had a
Wouldn't
girl
you?
and listening to him.
But I'd shit myself too. But I'd shit myself if you come out of the truck. Holy fuck, man.
But Food Bar, and then the other cat that I got to pet that was really cool. I didn't know they purred at all. But until I petted that one, and it was a Bengal tiger named Mr. T. And he was at a circus, and we were talking to the circus performers and things like that after the show. And I was sitting there and I was sneaking myself backwards. I wanted to pet him. I was probably about 9, 10 years old. Lady said, "Don't you be messing with that big cat over there." I'm like, okay, no problem. And I snuck back. I reached back behind my back and started petting his paw. All right. And as I'm petting his paw, the next thing I know, I feel like 80 grits of sandpaper go up my arm. He licked me, and then he started purring, and it sounded like a freaking goddamn boat on idle, man. It was like, wow, man. That was cool too, you know. So that were the two interesting things, the real interesting things I got to do in my lifetime when it comes to cats.
I appreciate the likes and everything, everybody.
Yeah, you got actually 11 now.
But nobody's on live, boys. Holy fuck! I'm here looking through, and nobody's on besides a couple people.
Let's see here.
Now you guys probably got more than I got.
I was gonna say there's probably a bunch of people on. Let's see here.
I got a lot of people. I just don't all fucking notifications of them all. I just certain ones when they go live. They're the ones I
The
want to
Munch
see.
guy. Sapine, you're more than welcome to come to one of my lives, Sapine.
She's live now, actually.
Right. But I can tell you now, I won't have a live until the 24th because I'm out of time on my string yard. But you're more than welcome to come to one of my.
Is AZ and the guy's not going live tonight down in Arizona?
That's what I'm wondering. That's what I keep looking for.
I haven't seen AZ.
Maybe if something fun happens, but if they don't run into anything, they probably won't do anything special. They won't come on.
Well, it is Friday night, right? I can see things getting a little up in arms now that it's a Friday night. People are going to go out.
Yeah.
That's what I wasn't even going to do one tonight because I figured Friday night nobody's going to want to come in, nobody's going to be here. But I was like, fuck it, I'll just come up and I'll sit here and be quiet if I got to.
I've seen you're on, so I come to support.
I appreciate it, man.
Same here, man.
But even just a like or something, to me, I don't care. I'm just doing it just to get some views and some likes and some time. That's it.
Like I said, I got you back anytime, dude. You stood up for NE, and that showed me you were a man, and I got you back anytime, bro.
Man, I'm telling you, I can't wait to fucking run into him. It's gonna be fucking brutal, man. Like, and he seems like he's just that, you know what I mean, that honest type person, and you could tell he respected that relationship with him and Slow, man. And then for Slow to get on like a mutt piece of shit like he did, oh no, I got no time for that, man.
That's why I didn't have no problem tonight slaughtering him.
That's it.
I'll do it on my own fucking panel too. I ain't afraid of him coming over on my panel.
I'd love for him to show up.
Because what he did to NE, that was uncalled for. You know, I'm used to it. I've been here around 8 years, 8.5 years. I've had people tell me they were my friend, and then 2 weeks later they stabbed me in the fucking back on this thing. Okay,
No, I'm not going to
I'm
stab you in the back. I'm going to stab you right in your chest if I got to.
yeah. Well, I respect you more if you tried to stab me in the chest than stab me in the
Yeah.
back. You know what I mean?
And that's what I
Just
mean, right? And
saying.
that's what I'm saying. It's true. Like, if I got an issue with you, I'm gonna come straight to you and say it, whether it's on a live or whether it's in chat or whether I got your cell phone number. That's how I'm going about it. But with
Yeah,
him, I said it to him. I'll say it to your face, bro. I'll say it to you on a live if you want me to. I'm saying it right now the way I say it because you don't let me say anything anywhere else because you keep blocking me or you keep getting your friends to block me. So I'll
yeah.
say it where I can.
And you're welcome over on my panel anytime as well.
Absolutely, man. I just don't usually do it. I'll go in chat. I'm a chat fucking hog kind of thing. I like supporting, chatting up the chat, and just having a laugh. But if I need to show my face for a minute, I'll show it.
Yeah.
There's only a
But
few panels I
but
like to hop up on. Like I like coming up in here obviously because with you and I like support you, but Dirty's channel I like going up on, Invalids I like going up on, and I've been up on Tammy's. But the only other time I've been up on a panel was when all that crap broke out a couple months ago on the other channel there, and I hopped up when people were being idiots, and I just spoke my piece and dropped down, and I've never been up since.
there you
And
go.
that's the thing, like even on like upstates and stuff like that, like I'll go up, like they'll offer me to come up and stuff. But well, I don't see the point in it. Nothing, no disrespect to any of them. It's just you know what I mean? They're not. I'm not going to get a chance to speak. I'm some Newfoundlander that's nobody to them, so they're just going to have their conversation, their American conversation, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's they're not going to listen to me, so I'm not going to waste my time getting up there. So
Well, like I said, you're welcome at mine. You give me my chance to fucking talk, so why shouldn't I give you a chance to talk on mine? Know what I'm
no, I hear
saying?
you, and I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
It's
So
funny, the
I
quietest I ever hear Tammy is when he's on his own panel. And the other time he doesn't shut up. You put him on his own panel and he sits quiet.
Right?
Maybe we should
I,
all donate money so he could actually pay for the channel and get more hours so we don't have to listen to him as much.
fuck you. Oh, what's
respect.
going on, Gallon, ET? How are you, folks? Thanks for coming in.
See, I try to give people their chance to talk over on my channel. That's what I try to do, no matter what it is. I try to give them that. That's why I am quiet. Just,
I like trying to give everybody a chance to have a go here too. You know.
yeah. And them stars, I've gone over to them stars. Not been on her panel. I've been in her chat quite often.
I think I've been
I
in
like them
everybody's
stars.
chat.
Huh?
I've been in everybody's chat. I think. Hey, Nude.
Yeah.
How
See,
are ya?
I don't go. I go to certain ones and I listen to them, and see them or whatever, you know. And I've really cut down. I used to do that jumping around too, a lot, but after a while, it fucking it gets old. You
I
know what I
just
mean?
see. I'm doing it just because I want to learn how everybody else is doing it. I got my way of doing shit, and you guys have seen it and watched it. Some of it's pretty vulgar and out there and very whatever point blank.
Dude,
I gotta say. So I would
you know
rather
how vulgar I can get.
learn different ways.
You heard a small bit tonight about how vulgar I can get on Mike's channel.
I wasn't even there for it, man.
Oh, okay. You weren't there when I was talking about slow butt burner and his fucking dog.
No, I might have heard a little bit of it, but I
Okay.
might have been with the kid or something. But
Okay. Yeah. I could get pretty get vulgar and nasty when I want. So, but M Star, she does auditing as well. She's good at it.
Did you
What she
change the
do?
name on Dexter?
who me? No.
That's awesome. That's funny. You know what? I was trying to sing a
That
song
cat
earlier.
name.
my daughter and I actually made up a song for Dexter. If you're up for hearing it, now that my phone's working, it wasn't working earlier. It goes, Dexter, our our big fat cat, our big fat cat filled with love. He's short and stubby, round and tubby. He's Dexter, the big fat cat we love. And she'll sing
There
that
you
all
go.
day long, rocking around the house. She just loves singing it to him.
M Star, you would do great panels. I know you did that one a while back. I figured you did more. I know I've been in your chat a lot when you were talking and doing your auditing. M Star, she's good at M Star. M Star's good.
Oh man,
I haven't got a chance to watch that yet. M Star.
I've seen a lot of her stuff. It's just I panels. I never ever thought I'd be able to do them either. I'm
M,
just doing them just because, and everybody keeps coming in, and I appreciate it.
M Star, have you heard about the ladies' night beginning at 5 Eastern on Dirty Mike's channel? Only women on the panel. There's room for 10.
Listen, Mike, don't come in here. We don't share none of his shit. Now stop that, Myron, please.
Hey,
You keep going, brother. You do what you do, man.
That was funny as hell, dude. That was hilarious.
You sounded so serious when you did that, but I knew you were fucking around, and I couldn't keep a straight face for you.
Yeah,
Look at
no,
that.
man.
There he is in the chat right now.
And now he
There
comes
he is.
in. Yeah. No, man. Listen, he's a good guy. He shows he does what he's doing, man, and I appreciate that. And
He said, "Fuck
so,
you, NL."
yeah, that was my next one. But no, Mike's good. Bye. I like Mike.
Hell, I like Mike. Why do you think after we had our little problem yesterday? Got it all. I came back. I apologized for what I did wrong, and I'm glad to be back over there. I like Mike. If I didn't like him, I wouldn't have taken the time to do that. I would have
But I
said,
mean,
"Fuck."
we're all gonna have our arguments, man. I mean, it is what it is, right? We're all grown fucking adults. We're all children at the
Mhm.
same fucking time. So we're all gonna have an argument at some point in time, whether it's a big one or it's a little one. It's a part of life, man. It's being men and women and apologizing for it. How many times have since you guys know me? How many times have I apologized to people? Many times. I make mistakes. I might block somebody. I might time them out. Oops, was I supposed to do that? No. Oh shit, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. I like Mike. He's a good guy. I always talk up Mike. I always will talk up Mike because I like Mike.
Oh, Mike is awesome.
Anybody's got a problem with me saying that about Mike? Well, they can suck my dick.
Well, they
Yeah,
can come up here and say something.
yeah. Come up here and say something.
But I mean, like, what did they got to say? They don't like how Mike does his panels. Well, go don't watch his panels. Go do your own fucking panel. If you're talking about the auditing and the cop watching and stuff, and this is what you want to see, why the fuck are you coming up on Mike's panel and watching his, and then going bashing it to somebody else? If this is not the shit that you like to watch, don't watch it. That's like my wife. She don't like that I'm out recording police and stuff. She don't watch my videos. But what does she do? She goes in and likes those videos for me, though. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Like that's appreciation. Like she don't have to support me by holding my hand and going to these audits and whatever else I do, but she'll go in and give me that like, right?
Oh, Pugface Media just did a cover.
He can come on up
James,
and
James
fucking sing
Blunt,
some
you're
songs.
beautiful. Pugface Media can sing now.
And he's awesome.
Yeah. And he just put out a cover of beautiful. What was it again? Uh, you're you're beautiful by James Blunt. He just did a cover on that. So just thought I'd let you know.
He's awesome, man. I like listening to him. I usually listen to him in the mornings when he's on with Spirit and stuff. Yes, heck, girl, you bounce around. Don't worry about us. Show us how you're bouncing. Excuse me. All right, boys, chat away, man.
Oh man, actually, I'm getting tired, dude. I'm about to head to bed. It's nice to be able
Oh,
to
you
go,
got your blankie and your pacifier, some warm milk. You ready to go?
dude. After 3 days of not sleeping, it's nice to actually be tired enough to say I'm sleepy.
Yeah, I hear
I understand that, dude.
Yeah, I'll look for my pacifier and blankie tomorrow. I'm too tired right now to look.
you. I usually get a couple hours every night, and that's it.
Just take a cue from Dexter. Look at what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's
You
open.
say
Alright,
his name, he opens his eyes. He's like, motherfucker, I heard you
He's,
say my name.
he's saying, "Stare into my eyes. I will. I'll show you the wonders of the universe. You will sleep."
But yeah, but yeah, my sleeping habits suck, dude. I'm telling you that now. They always have all my life. I
Ever
don't
since
get good rest.
I figured getting clean would help me major in my sleeping habits, but it hasn't done shit for me. But it is what it is.
Mm. Well, see, that's my problem. I've been this way since I was a little kid. I used to drive my mom nuts. She put me down to sleep at 8 o'clock, and by 9:30, sometimes 10 o'clock, I was bouncing off the walls again. I've been this way since I was a little kid. And then there's times she could never get me to sleep. Finally she got to the point, okay, boy, if you get out of your bed, you're gonna get your ass whooped. So they kept me in bed, but I was still wide awake. So
Yeah, I hear you. Anyway, take care, Hassel. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
I'm going. And also, you try to have a good night, huh? And I will. I'm going to get out of here as well. You all try to have a good night,
Take care,
and I
brother.
will talk to you later.
Take it easy, Timmy.
Gotcha.
Later, good dread. Later, everybody out in chat.
I was gonna try to kick him from the studio before he left, but it wasn't fast enough.
Take it easy, Hustle. If you're out, be safe. See you tomorrow.
Have a good night, Hustle.
I think I'm probably gonna do a short one tonight, just something to stop in. I gotta get up early with the little one tomorrow, but I'll stay on for a bit, see what's going on. I usually run out of shit to say pretty quickly. I don't know how fucking Tammy does it, man. He just keeps going and going and going.
Oh
God love
yeah.
him.
The thing with Tammy is it's funny. You just mentioned something. It'd be like road paint. Oh yeah, well the other day I was going down the street. There was a bunch of guys making road paint, and I thought I'd hop on their truck, and you know what? We did the whole highway from here to New York City and all the way down to California and back.
Right? Oh man, he means well. I know he do. God love him.
Well, I'm like that too. Like I've done so many things in my life. People are like, they're like, "Oh, there's no way you did that. There's no way you did that." There's been a lot of things. Like I did backyard mechanics stock car racing for like 2.5, 3 years with a buddy of mine. It was awesome. I did that for a bit. I welded. I've done a lot of things. And people are like, "There's no way." It's just I made life fun when I was in my late teens and early 20s. I just tried to do as much as I could.
Yeah. And that's the same thing here. I did a lot of shit when I was growing up. Now it's like I'm almost 40, man. I got a fucking 6-year-old that I got to try to entertain and shit. So I keep my energy for her and whatever else I do when I'm out with the piggies.
You're just a fucking kid.
Oh, I know.
You should
Still
have
on the
mom's
first cap.
energy.
Oh, I got the energy, but I try to save it for a 6-year-old. She's got 10 times more than what I got.
Yeah, I know.
I'm still on my first cock yet, man.
Yeah, I kind of kick myself nowadays for some of the things I put my body through. Like, I've been shot, stabbed, hit by buses, fallen off roofs, fallen down cliffs, put my body through hell, and I'm like, I'm indestructible. I can do it. Now that I got trouble around, making me run everywhere, chase everywhere, I got
Hmm.
two messed up hips. Sometimes, right? Like I push it as much as I can. We'll go down to the park and she'll have me rolling up and down the hill, going down the
Yeah.
slides, and by the time I get home, some nights I can't move. But like I'm sitting on the balcony right now, and my hips are open, and I'm in absolute pain, and it's just well, it's all worth it because I know eventually that she ain't gonna be wanting to play and do that, or she'll be on her own doing what she wants to do. So have fun with it now.
And that's what I'm saying. Like my little one, she's always wants to be on the go and stuff. So like, I mean, I'm all for giving her the attention and the time. But being a roofer for 21 years, after been in so many high speed chases and crashing and all that shit, man, my body is beat to fuck up. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's the life I lived, and it's my choice to have a kid, and now it's time to live up to that life.
I'll tell you one thing. Since my daughter saw your daughter that night, they talk to each other and they always say goodnight, this and that when we're on. She's like, "Daddy, this summer, can we go down? Can we go down to Newfoundland? Oh, can we go down?" I'm like, "Sweetheart, I'm like, I don't have a vehicle. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Hop on the electric scooter I got you, and we can go down that way?" I'm like, well, we could fly down. I'm like, yeah, they're not going to let Daddy on the plane. Daddy won't get us there. I'm like, you're not going to get your vaccine as Daddy. Well, we can drive. I'm like, that's not a problem. I'm like, you just have to get a car. So,
Right?
but my fear is that I would go down there for a visit, and I don't think I'd come back, man.
And that's
I'd have to call my buddy upstairs and be like, listen, you got the key to my place. Either you can keep it and rent it for the next little while, like, you know,
mm,
use it for what you want, or pack everything up and ship it to me because I ain't coming back.
it's beautiful here, man. I love it. Like I've only been in Newfoundland probably 6 times. Four of that was to cadet camp when I was in cadets when I was 12 to 18, and the other 2 times was in jail behind a fucking 30-foot wall. So I didn't see nothing, right? So, and that was in New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. That's it.
See, I love like I haven't been all over Newfoundland. I think I've been Corner Brook, Bayvert, um, Stephenville Crossing, the area that my family and all that's from. I've been in and around a lot of that area, not too far. I've never been to St. John's that I can remember. I might have as like a kid. I was there when I was like 3 years old, back when I was like 8, and then again when I was in my 20s with my dad. We went to visit my uncle before he passed away. So I've only been down there a handful of times, but my favorite time being down there was when I was up in the mountains. I don't know the name of what you guys call the mountains up there, but up by Stephenville Crossing, in the Black Duck area, the mountains up in there. There's these lakes called Twin Lakes, and
Hmm.
basically one of the mountain peaks splits the lakes. It's fresh water, and it's
Yeah.
just beautiful. My uncle built a cabin, and he drove me up there in his side by side, left me with his 22 rifle and his knife in the cabin, and he's like, "Can you stay here for 2 weeks?" I'm like, "Yep." And he's like, "All right, see you later," and left. And I just fished. He had a little boat, rowboat, not a rowboat, but yeah, I guess it'd be a rowboat, a flat back boat with a small engine on the back. You could row to the little lake, and I fished out there, got the water from the lake, and it was awesome. I could spend the rest of my life living up there with the freshwater lake. I could build enough to make it energy. He
Yeah.
had he had the cabin. It wouldn't be hard to add on to it. All the trees are there. That's how we did it. We just cleared the area, used the trees, built the cabin,
Yeah.
and I could spend the rest of my life there.
Man, I've been from one end to the other, to the top to the bottom of Newfoundland, and everywhere in between. Man, being on the run, trying to hide from fucking misses I was with, or whatever the case was, man. I've been everywhere, and this province is beautiful. There's no need to go anywhere, man. Really, you want to go on a vacation, go to another or another location here in the province, man, and you're guaranteed to find some shit to do. Especially if you like the outdoors.
I call Newfoundland the friendliest place in Canada. I really do, and
It is.
I've told many of people this, and I've had people come back and say you're right. I've had people that I work with at Costco when they opened up a couple of the new ones, new Costco's down in Newfoundland. I think one in Cornerbrook, one in St. John's, and somewhere else. They were up and coming managers, so they were asked, "Do you want to go down there?" And they're like, "Oh, you know." And I talked to them. I said, "Listen, go down there." I'm like, "You're going to make the same amount of money as you make here, like $28 an hour. You're going to go down there and make that. You're going to live like a king." I said, "It doesn't matter if you know one single person." I said, "You're going to run into one person, say hello." I said, "I guarantee you, by the end of the night, there's going to be a family barbecue going on, and everybody in town's going to be there. And by the end of the week, you'll have a place to stay. You'll be living." I'm like, "It's the friendliest place you'll ever meet. I swear to God." And last time I last time I saw them, they were like, "Yeah, you're right." And they've already bought in a house, and the guy met his. He's now married, and they got a kid. But I said to him, I told you, man, I'm like, you're never gonna want to leave once you get down there. It's such laid back people, chill, relaxed, and
Yeah, it is pretty good, man. Like you walk down the road here, and people will nod at you and say hello as you're walking down the road. Anywhere else, you get stabbed if you said hello to somebody or shot.
it's funny. I do that to people all around here, right? And walk around, hey, how's it going? Wave to people, smile, and they give you the funniest look. Like, what's he gonna do? Why is he being nice? Like, I teach my daughter whenever we're out. If you see someone that looks like they need help, go help.
Mm-hmm.
We've carried groceries home for elderly people. Like, got on the bus and gone in the absolute opposite direction, an hour out of the way, and the elderly people are like, "Oh, where do you live?" I'm like, "Well, I live all the way." "Well, what are you doing up here?" "Well, we're helping. Here you go." And they just don't understand. You hold doors open for people nowadays. You do things that are kind. It just blows people's mind.
It do, yeah. But I mean, why not? It's the right. I think it's the right thing to do.
A buddy of mine and I wrote a song a while back called it was "Scared by Kindness," and
Yeah,
that was the whole premise of it. Was like you can't hold the door open for someone without them thinking you're going to pickpocket them. You know,
yeah. I mean, it is. It's up there. I can imagine how easy it'd be for you guys to do or get pickpocketed and stuff, considering how packed you guys be. But
it's
here,
actually
man,
it's not that packed like you would think. It really
no.
isn't. There's no. It's not like you would think like New York subway, Japan subway, where everybody's packed. It can be crowded in the morning and stuff, but it's never been. I've never felt we're at a point where I was so packed up that somebody was going to pickpocket me, and I dare anyone to try anyways because I keep my wallet on a chain. So
Yeah, I don't, I don't usually carry a wallet. So, but again, and no one's going in my pockets, man. Like fucking, I feel everything. Like even someone brushes up against the side of my pants that are hanging a little bit, and I feel it. And I'm looking. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
yeah, I got a line out of a Stephen King book one time. It was called The Golden Years. They did a TV show of it too. It's where some kind of nuclear testing went on, and there's one guy or everybody in the town started aging backwards. They started getting younger. But his phrase was "perfect paranoia is perfect awareness," and I believe that. You're always slightly paranoid about everything. You're always aware of your surroundings.
You got to be, man. If you're not, you're fucked. Simple as that. Right? Like the wife don't even understand it. Like I can walk onto my street, and even up on the other end of it. And I mean, we're not very long here, but it's at least fucking 5 or 6 football fields long. And I'll look up the street and I'll be like, "There's a cop on our street," and she'll look and she's like, "Where?" And as soon as we get by it, I'll point to the car, and she's like, "How do you know?" Like it's never on our street before. And I'll look at the license plate and it'll be GPL. And I'm like, "See, told you it was a cop." And she's like, "What the fuck, man?" I'm like, "You just got to be aware of your surroundings." right? Someone's following us one day. I was like, we're being followed. No, we're not. And she kept watching, and she was like, you fucking right, we are too. I'm like, I told you.
Yeah, always watching. I'm always paying attention.
Yeah, got to, man. If you're not, you're gonna end up getting yourself fucked. You know, up there it's a lot worse too. You guys got people shooting people and all that shit. So you know, it's a little bit different up there. Down here, it's not so much. And I haven't ripped nobody off, so I'm not worried about anybody coming up and shooting me or anything for a drug debt or anything. But you know, I do got a big mouth. I've ran it many times, so you know, if someone wants to have an issue, I'm ready for that issue. I'm not going down without a fight. I lose. That's fine and dandy, but I'm going down with a fight.
Dude, I've lost fights before. I'm not afraid to lose. I've always had a theory when it comes to fighting, whether you're a boxer, MMA, kickboxing, anything when it comes to any type of fighting. You cannot be considered a champion, a true, real champion, until you've lost a fight. Because a true champion has to understand that humiliation and the humility of losing that fight and the understanding of what it means and how it feels. Once you have that understanding and feeling, and you get up and you fight that next fight and you win, you become that champion again. That's a true champion. I know everyone thinks that what's his face, they're Mayweather Jr. because he's never lost. Da, 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 da. No, I don't consider him a true champion. If he were to have lost a fight and felt the humility of what it is, and then got back up and worked his way back through, and then won the championship again, then I'd have a different outlook on that.
Yeah, exactly, brother. Boy, Spirit was in here earlier and never even come up and said hi to us. What a guy, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't see him in the chat. That's crazy.
No, he didn't even come in the chat. I've been watching the chat like a fucking hawk, man. Yeah, Invalid's alive, so I was just reading what he's saying over there, and I seen Spirit, and he's like, "What do you got, Newfie? I was on your thing. They're just lurking." I'm like, "Well, come on, man. Don't just lurk." Invalid's best kind. I like him. He gets the fucking mad people on his channel too, but
Invalid?
yeah,
Yeah, he gets some really good guys. He gets some people to get up there and start going, ooh, but he's pretty good at keeping it handled. He really is. I like it. I like what he talks about. I like his conversations and his topics. I really do.
yes, but
He
he
gets really
sometimes
deep
starts.
with them.
Yes, but he sometimes starts the drama, like you know what I mean. And that's the whole point of what he's doing. He wants to not the drama, but he starts that conversation, and then he turns it around into a sensible conversation. Okay, we had our argument. Now let's talk about let's hash it out in mature in a mature way.
How you doing, Bo Hunter? No, you're right.
I don't know.
Him and I have had a conversation about that because we were talking about things. I wasn't up. I was in the chat, and I would say something in the chat, and he's like, "Well, dude, you can't just hang everybody." And afterwards, I ended up on the panel. And before he shut down, I talked to him about it. I said, "Listen, the reason why I say things sometimes that are as harsh as that, it's not that I actually mean it. It's that it provokes conversation. It makes someone go, 'Man, that's too harsh,' and another person say, 'No, that's not harsh enough.' And then they
Hmm.
can talk about something." And maybe come to a common ground on like, you know what? Yeah, maybe I was a little too harsh. Maybe I wasn't being harsh enough, but this compromise that we come to, you know what? We both like that idea, and then
Yeah.
therefore everybody's grown from it. When we've had that conversation about why we say certain things the way we do, and he tends to have the response I like when I say something. He always has that that exact opposite um, thought pattern to what I say, and that's what I enjoy because I him and I have the same thoughts on things. So I'll say something, and I'm looking for a certain response, and he always tends to have it, and I really enjoy that.
Right, and that's the whole point. That's the whole point of why I'm doing it is to get them conversations going instead. I know some of these right now are just us chatting and stuff, and that's fine. That's the whole point of me learning how to do a lot of this. But once I get into doing a lot of this, then it's going to be it's going to be a lot different. You know what I mean? It's going to be more focused on the auditing, the the cop watches, why we're doing it, how we're doing it, all that shit, right? And that's my point of making sure I'm doing these lives right. I want to be able to share people's videos that I have permission for. I want to make sure that when I show them, we can talk about it. I can pause these videos and all that. I mean, it's fine and dandy to sit here and have a conversation about whatever, and I'm fine with that. And you know what I mean. I see that's what Mike's and Invalid shows are about. My shows, I'm going to focus them more around a show. Like we're gonna do the chatting and stuff, and Saturday night will probably be an open panel kind of thing, but generally it's going to be more so towards talking about it, learning how we can better push our agenda, how we can do things better, do things stronger, and get things done so that, maybe one day we don't have to do this no more, or our children can walk down the street without being worried about getting harassed by some fucking badge fucking wearing goof because he's got a badge on his chest or she. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. I'm not going at that.
Speaking of which, did you see that video today? Man, there were so many that I've missed over the last couple of days, but this one was I think Jay Surreal put it out. It was just a guy coming up, walking down the street, pulls his phone out because these cops had a bunch of kids in cuffs. Like
Yeah, I've seen
kids,
that.
man. The one kid looked maybe like she was maybe 9 or 11. Dude,
Hmm.
I had trouble watching my I started shaking, my blood started boiling. I was like, man, oh man. And that was like some of these videos that people put up, it shows the cops abusing some of the kids. Like it's been out for a while, but that one where that little kindergarten kid, he was maybe a 5-year-old, 6-year
Yeah,
old kid, took off from school, and that cop's yelling at him, "You want to go to jail?" Rah, rah,
yeah.
rah, and all the teachers and assistants, they even just they that poor kid. I swear to God, he's gonna grow up to like. I hope he doesn't grow up to be bad because with what they did to him and the amount of trauma that kid's gone through, there's going to be something wrong, bad that's
Well,
going to
he's
happen.
he's gonna
I
grow
feel
up
so
hating
bad for him.
cops.
He's going to
Right?
grow up
He's
hating everybody, school, cops, everyone that was supposed to be there to protect him. Turned on him at the age of like 5, 6 years old. It was
what happened
like
to
I
me.
couldn't watch that video. I could not watch that video. It was oh, I got so angry at watching that. I literally wanted to get there and strangle that dude so bad.
Right. Well, that's what happened to me when I was younger. Like I was a little punk, like I've after saying a million times. So, I've done my shit and had my say and whatnot. So, how many times have I had a cop come up to me and say, "Oh, well, we're gonna arrest you if you keep up with your bullshit." You know what I mean? How many times did I spit in their face? And I mean, not that it's cool or anything, but how many times did I spit in their faces and shit because they're telling me that they're gonna arrest me or something? Buddy, I'm fucking 8 years old. In Canada, you got no authority until I hit 12, unless I murder somebody. And even then, you still got no authority over me. Fuck off.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad I never. I had when I was a kid. I think I was maybe 8 when I had my first and only really big run in with the cops. It was I'm a redhead, so I used to get picked on. People made fun of me a lot. There was a kid in our little complex, and he was like 2 years older than me, and he used to like tease me and call me names and this and that. So one day I caught him by himself. It was just me and him, and I just finished watching the Karate Kid movie, so I gave him a crane kick to the chest, not realizing that he's got medical issues, breathing issues, this and that. So I kicked
Yeah.
him in the chest. He hit the ground. He's crying, hardly breathing. I laughed at him, went home. Now, I grew up in an era where I would come home from school, I had my key, I'd go in, lock the door, watch TV, have a snack, wait for my mom and my stepdad get home from school, right? Not like you could do nowadays. No. So that happened. I sit down, I'm watching cartoons. I think it was like G.I. Joe or something like that. And all of a sudden I hear banging. I look out the window and there's cop cars everywhere. The cops banging on my door. I took off to the basement. And I'm hiding in the basement. Oh, what the hell's going on? Bang, bang, bang. They stayed there until my mom got home. They were there for like 2 hours waiting for my mom to get home from work. And when my mom got home and my stepdad got home, it was yeah, there was hell to pay. But I found out I put him in the hospital because the ambulance showed up and everything. I had almost collapsed his lung when I kicked him. He had apparently just had some surgery and stuff on his lungs and his chest area. My point to the cops is, well, if that's the case, why lip off to somebody? If you
That's right.
can't defend yourself and you got problems, why would you pick on somebody? Whether you think you're going to get beat up or not, like, just don't do it. But that was my first time ever having to deal with the cops because my mom brought me out and outside, and the cops, and she's like, "I could take you to jail right now." My mom's like, "Do it, just take him down to the jail, put him in the car," and I'm freaking out, crying and bawling, and I was like, "Ah!" But it taught me a lesson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
Thanks
one
for
of
coming
those.
in, Josh.
Take it easy, Josh. It was one of those lessons that sometimes as a kid you got to learn, and I'm glad I learned it that way without having to actually get in too big of trouble.
Honestly, I wish I had learned my lesson from something like that, man. I was 12. I was put in group home. I was ward of the state, as you call it, and I was made to be fucking. I was grounded there, like, you know what I mean. If I come home 5 minutes late, and public transit here, man, it is known for being a couple minutes late. Even if I was 2 minutes late, I'd be grounded, and they'd ground me for a week. Buddy, I'm 12 years old. I'm in a group home where I don't even want to be, and you're gonna ground me for a week because I was 2 minutes late coming home. No, but I'm not. So then I go on the run. It was considered on the run, so I get 30 days in Whitburn, the youth center here. It's like this is the shit that you're gonna do to people. And nowadays, here in Newfoundland, and they got the Youth Criminal Justice Act, and youth are you can stab somebody with a fucking needle, go into armed robberies, and they're letting you out, and you're getting like a year's probation, not even supervised. What the fuck is that, man? My first sentence was or 6 months on remand for a breach. 6 months on remand. That's considered double time. So I got a year for one breach. What the fuck?
See, man, I would have been up in the hills. I would have been gone. I would like grab what I can, and I would have been to the hills. I would have just lived in the hills until everything flew, because
I didn't know it was coming.
no, you know what I mean. Like I get
Yeah.
that. It's I know hindsight's 2020, but it's just yeah, dude. That's I couldn't deal with all that. I feel
Yeah.
like
I've learned, you know what I mean. I've learned from it. It was a shitty experience, but it was a good experience at the same time. I got to learn a lot from it, man, and grow up essentially. But you know, I'm 38, man. I'll be 38 next month, and I'm only just really getting out of trouble. Like the last 12 years, it's I've been out of trouble. I got in a bit of trouble there 3 years ago, but it was all within 2 months. I racked up a whole shitload of charges in a 2 month period, and here I am, done, finished. I was looking at many years in jail, but I got myself clean. I did things that was asked of me, and I kept my nose clean, as they say, and here I'm not in jail, and good for me, but it sucks that I had to go through 20 odd years of back and forth to a youth center, to jail, to federal institutions, to being a fucking addict, to losing everything. I've lost two families, almost lost a third. You know what I mean? It gets pretty monotonous after a while. So
Hate to take off on you, but have a good night.
take care,
Have
Myra. Thanks for coming in, brother.
take
gotcha.
it easy, Sir Lord Myron. You be safe, my friend.
You too.
I'll see you tomorrow. All right,
I
everybody
think
gonna
it's
take
funny.
off,
I always
huh?
forget. I always forget that he has dogs because they sit there so quietly
Don't they, man?
until he'll like get up to do something, and then the little white one gets down into his seat, does a little circle, scratches around, sniffs his ass where he farted all day, and then he'll lie there until the Myron comes back, and then he's like, "Oh, gotta get up." He crawls back up to the top of the. It's just really cool. I like watching that. I like Myron and watching all that.
I love Myron. Myron's awesome.
M Star, back to my comment earlier. You made a comment about knowing a deputy Bourbon. When I was in the military, during my it was my first year, my second part, yeah, the second part of my first year of training. Um, we come across, I met a major dick, and in the military, it's either you call him sir or sir, yes sir, or major their rank. And his rule is that you had to call him Major Dick, and you couldn't smirk or make a smile or get anything, or anybody around couldn't do it. And man, if you did, your whole platoon was doing extra push-ups, duties, everything. It was the hardest thing to do. Anytime I'd see that guy come anywhere within like 100, 150 feet of where I was, my head was down. I was turning around and I was gone, because it was one of the hardest things. And he would address everybody. He'd do it on purpose, especially to a lot of new recruits and new trainees. He'd come right up to you and just address you. And if you said sir, and he goes, "What's this say? What's my rank?" You address me properly. And if you, oh yes sir, Major Dick. Oh dude, it was one of the funniest things to have to deal with.
See, I was always good at keeping a straight face when it comes to shit like that. I fucking loved it, man.
All right, I'm going to tell you another story just because I don't know who's in the chat because I can't see the chat right now. I'm in my kitchen trying to get my phone charged a bit.
Amster, I think
We,
that's it.
oh, well, anyway, she'll enjoy this, I hope. When I was in the military, we had to do swim tests every 3 months. You did a swim test, a first aid test, a run test, and a shooting test, just to make sure your fit training was up. I was in the reserves to start with, to make that easy to
Yeah.
clarify for people, because I know how people like the whole accountability thing. I was in the reserves and all that. I volunteered to go to Somalia as a peacekeeper before the whole crap happened with the prisoner being videotaped, being tortured, and all that stuff. And then I volunteered to go to Bosnia and was literally on the tarmac to be dispatched out there. And they called most of the Canadians back and started changing our politics and the whole peacekeeping deal. So,
Well, that's
but
that's when we became peacekeepers, right?
no, we've been peacekeepers. Canada invented peacekeeping
Yes.
back during the Korean War, right? It was just after World War II, around the start of the Korean War, when the whole idea of peacekeeping and the thought of it came out. But this was before the whole 9/11 happened. This was back in the 90s. So I joined the military in 93. I was out by 97. So
That's
this
fine.
was so during our swim test one time. I was doing it in Base Borden, which is just outside of Barrie, where I was living in Angus. And the instructor was a little French guy, and he was just a short little French. He was a sergeant, and we're all lined up. You got your platoon of 40 guys lined up on the side of the pool. We got our combats on, our combat boots, right? No rucksack or anything, just our combats on. And he's walking up and down, giving a speech. I'm not very good at accents, so I'll only do it at the certain part. And he's going up and down. All right, you guys, I'll tell you how things are going to go. You're going to jump in. You're going to tread water for 15 minutes, and then you dive down to the bottom. You wait. You stay down there, and then you come back. It's a whole big thing. Anyways, so as he's going up and down, one of the last things he's saying, he's like, "And is if any of you sinks to the bottoms, I'm not going to jump in and save yous, eh?" And as he walked by and said that, under my breath, I'm like, "But I thought all frogs like water." And he heard me and he went nuts. "Who said that? Who said that? You cocksuckers! Which one of you cocksuckers said that? I fix yous all into the water! In! We treaded water for an hour and a half, dude. All right, you know how many beers I had to buy that night at the mess? Oh my god. But it was hilarious. Like, his face went red. He just sort of, his veins started popping out, his eyes started popping out, and his accent got so thick. All you could understand was this, that, do, cocksucker, d, that, and oh yeah, it was hilarious. It really was. Sorry, that's my little bit of a comical joke, that shit that used to happen to me when I was in the military.
I used to find they were the worst because they would always be the ones that wanted to prove themselves to be the better of us all, man, and trying to understand them. Sometimes when they were like very thick with it, it was like, oh my guys. But yeah, I don't care. I can really understand them.
Yeah, it was comical. I had my moments. I got away with some stuff because I did a few things that earned some respect, so I got away with a couple comments here and there. But yeah, that was one of the ones that I had to pay for. I think it was like 40 guys. Think about that. 2 beer each. That's 80 beer in one night at the end of the night. It's a good thing we
Respect.
were able to, this is a good thing we were able to put shit on tab, dude.
Yeah, right.
Oh, and the same with I don't know if you know anybody else or if you're ever in. You walk in, if you got in any mess, if you got your beret on, right, or in,
Mm-hmm.
they usually give you a countdown. You hear a countdown. If you're not paying attention, sometimes you're tired. But
Mm-hmm.
if you leave your beret or any head covering on, and they get to zero, you buy everybody in there around,
Yeah.
and there's no getting out of it, dude. You're buying everybody around.
Same
So
thing with having elbows on the tables and shit.
yeah, yeah. Oh, and when you're new, sometimes, the best is um, my first year when I was just a recruit, when I was doing my QL. Everyone has different names for it. My QL1, my basic training. We had he was a corporal, but his last name was officer. So officers you call sir,
Yeah.
right? Or by their rank. So it would confuse everyone because he was corporal officer. So people
Yeah.
would call him sir, and he's like, "Oh, I work for a living. I'm not a." But it says officer, and he was like, "That's my last." Man, the new recruits would get. It screwed me up for about a week. It took me a. Yeah, it's a good thing him and I got along because I could have got a lot of extra push-ups out of that one.
Right. See, we weren't giving push-ups mostly. It was more duties, cleaning the bell, and all that fucking shit.
Oh, dude, it was push-ups, sit-ups, laps around the camp, push-ups, sit-ups. I did my basic training and my infantry training with two commando out of the
Yeah.
Bandus out of Quebec up in
Yeah.
Petawawa,
Yeah. I know what you're
and
talking about.
a lot of people don't realize that um, it was crazy because then my next summer I was back up there to do training, and that's when they were disbanded. They were disbanded in between the my two training sessions, the Canadian Airborne, and that was crazy. I remember being in Petawawa when they took burnt down Sassy's, which was an airborne bar. Nobody else but airborne troopers were allowed in there, and airborne soldiers. So I remember seeing them trash that place when they found out they were being disbanded as a unit because of the hazing videos that somebody leaked. You
Right.
know, like these guys had to, like, I trained with them, dude. Like, I know what kind of training the Canadian Airborne had to go through. I know what they had to do. So when you made it and you become one and you went through their supposed hazing, it wasn't a hazing. It was every unit had it, man. I had to go through this thing called the Forester Kiss when I joined the Foresters, the Grange Simcoe Foresters. I had to sit on a chair, blindfolded, and with my hands being held by guys on each side. When they said go, they said fight. Just fight. Doesn't matter who you kick or punch or whatever. Just fight because somebody's going to try and grab you. And basically, a Forester Kiss is two guys grab a mouthful of beer, as many guys to grab you as possible and hold you down, and these guys try and spit these two mouthfuls of beer into your ear. It's
Oh
just a
yes. No.
it's just a funny little hazing thing. But you're supposed to fight. You're not supposed to just sit there and take it. You sit there and take it. Basically, they put you out the door and they say, "Sorry, man. We want someone that's gonna fight." So they told me to fight. As soon as I felt my arm, someone tense up on my arms, I started throwing elbows and punches and kicks. It was, you get respect that way. And yeah, I left that place smelling like a brewery with beer leaking out of my ears, my eyes, my nose. Man, it was. But that's what you go through. But the airborne, their initiation, not initiation, but their welcome into making it that far was to have your wings pinned onto your chest, and I
And
mean
I
pinned
get
onto
it.
your chest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
if you're
get that.
willing to take that, and be, prove to the people that, because these guys don't understand that the training that the air they're trained to do some things that other militaries around the world aren't trained to do. So you can't rely on the person beside you to be able to take that and do that. then how do you expect to go behind enemy lines or go do something where your life depends on it?
But see, when we were doing it, we was never a hazing thing. It was always like if we were learning how to do hand to hand combat or self defense or anything like that, it was we were being trained on how to flick the person over. Whatever it is that you were being trained on, you were being trained on. You weren't sat there blindfolded and said, "Don't let these
No,
people
no,
spit
this
beer
was.
in your ear."
I'm talking about my first day. I signed the papers, went into the mess, and everybody. You know what I mean? It was kind of like your opening day. It wasn't really a hazing. It was almost like your welcome ritual. Every unit's got one, right?
Yeah,
Everybody's got. So with the airborne, it's the same thing, right? Once you make it past their basic training and their right, and that you're accepted as an airborne trooper, and you're working your way through you're a special unit.
oh yeah,
So
I get that. I'm just saying, I guess growing up in the fucking sissy side of the world, it's just, I guess with everything that went on with you guys, they stopped doing things like that, and it was more just like when we were doing the training, we were doing it like hardcore. So like if they were coming at you and they were like kicking you, they were actually kicking your ass, man. Like they weren't holding back, so you actually had to fight them off in a sense.
well, yeah,
I
dude,
guess.
I was doing push-ups wrong. We had to do push-ups off the top of our helmets when I was
Hmm.
doing it wrong one day. Well, my form was wrong, and the
Yeah.
guy came over and he gave me a football kick in the ribs, and it literally flipped me over. The guy beside me, he threw my helmet at me. I just rolled back over, grabbed my helmet, did 3 push-ups, and passed out. He broke 2 of my ribs.
Yeah, that's
They
see
wrapped
to
me
me.
back up. I woke up the next day. Do you want to go home? Are you done your training or do you want to go back? I'm like, I'm not done. I'm like, can I keep training? They're like, yeah. I'm like, what do I need? They gave me a bunch of pain pills. I took those every morning anytime I felt pain, and I just kept going.
Yeah, see, I had one officer do something like that to me, and we got into a fist fight. I didn't, I see, I'm a little bit different when it comes to that. It's like, I understand that, you're gonna get yelled at, they're gonna get in your face and stuff, but when you put hands on me when you're supposed to be teaching me, no, I'm not taking it from nobody. I don't give a fuck if you're the CO or if you're the XO or if you're just a fucking underling under me. You put your hands on me, we're scrapping. Simple
Well,
as
we were
that.
told it was funny. We were given a speech right up. Like I said, this is my basic and my infantry training with the airborne. We were on the tarmac, and the guy came out and he said, "Listen, all that crap you were talking about having rights and this and that. No, you are now going to be trained as airborne. You're going to be training with us. If you don't like what I'm going to say next, turn around and walk off. Go back and train with your units. Become sissies." Basically, and he's like, we're going to physically hurt you. We're going to harm you. We're going to put you through hell. If you can't handle it, you won't be here by the end of the summer. And basically, that was it. I said, okay. And I basically took anything they gave me. And the crazy thing is, at the end of the training, at the end of the entire summer, the whole, it was like just under 5 months of training that we went through. And at the end of the summer, um, we were out drinking. Everybody was out at the bars and stuff, and someone started to pick fights with the recruits. And the first people to come step up was all the airborne guys that were doing our training. They said, you guys aren't fighting. Our trainees and recruits, they're not getting into shit. They're going to graduate by the end of this weekend. We'll take care of it." And they had our back, and they did what they had to do. They kicked our ass and beat us and tortured us all summer for well, more than all summer, but at the end of it, they had our back, right? So
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I get it. To me, I guess it was just the way where I was taught and how I was taught. It was just a lot different. There was none of this hands-on bullshit unless we were in training. We weren't. If they were gonna kick anything, they would kick our helmet out from underneath us when we were doing our push-ups off it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It wasn't them coming up and kicking me in the ribs, breaking my ribs, and then I 6 weeks then with broken ribs trying to do things that I'm gonna need the strength of my ribs to do. You know what I mean? So, and I guess they learn from their mistakes of people getting injured and not being able to continue on with training and stuff at no cost, at no trouble of their own. You know what I mean? They didn't do anything wrong. They were just a victim of their officer wanting to show a bit of fucking seniority or whatever you want to call it. So I was like, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, when it comes to stuff like that, like the I get what you're saying, like trying to just be over powerful and push their power. Now I didn't stand for that, but taking the beating and this and that I took and the way we went through it, it was a way of earning respect. It was a different way of looking at it for me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I would, if it was someone trying to abuse their power, no, I stood my ground. But if it was a training exercise or something like that happened, I didn't hold a grudge against him because I know he wasn't actually trying to break my ribs. He was just trying to teach me a lesson. He just shit went too far. It
but
happens,
what do you expect when you got big old combat boots and you kick somebody in the ribs? You know what I mean? Chances are you're gonna break them motherfuckers, right?
Well, yeah, but you know, it is what it is. I like I said, I never held a grudge against the guy. I never,
Oh
and
no.
it was one of those things that it never bothered me. But because of stuff like that, I didn't drink. I didn't start drinking honestly until I got out of the military. I was never one to be into drinking. So come our weekends, Friday nights and stuff, when they like let everybody go for the weekend to do whatever, everyone would take off drinking or want to go, and they'd ask for volunteers to do stuff like, oh, we need this polish or we need this clean. And you know what, I got nothing else to do. But it worked out to my advantage because I got to learn how to rappel out of helicopters. I got to learn how to do certain hand-to-hand combat that they weren't teaching. I got to learn certain things, and I got to go out and do um, sidearm training, the Browning high power. I got to learn how to take that apart and use that and fire that. Nobody else got to do it.
And
So
I got lots of training like that too by, I guess, by speaking up and not going out partying and hanging out with people when I could have been in training. Like there was one time everybody was going partying and they were like, "Well, we're dropping a few people off into the woods." It was me and two other fellers, like, or me, one other fella, and the missus got dropped out into the woods. Buddy, what a time we had, man! We made it back to camp in perfect time. We survived. They loved everything we did, right? So like, it was a learning experience, and that's what I went into it for, and that's what I came out with is fucking a plethora of knowledge on how to save myself, how to save people, how to live off grid, do whatever I needed to do. So, all
definitely
right,
so.
folks, I'm gonna take off, man.
All right, my friend. Thank you
I
very much.
appreciate you coming in.
Anytime. You know what? Like I said, with Dirty Mics, I love being on his panel. It's great and stuff. But sometimes I don't get a chance to talk as much because I'm busy with the little one. I'm always,
Yeah.
especially when it starts right from 1 to like 8 o'clock. I'm busy because of the little one. So I get like
Yep.
2 hours to actually sit and listen and be part of the conversation.
And that's why I don't do nothing before that. Like I'll be in the chat or whatever, and it's like, "Come on up." I was like, "Nope, I can't. I got the little one here. I got the wife. You know what I mean." She gets a little bit crooked because I'm talking to you guys on chat, but I mean, I'm more her. So if I'm talking to you guys for a minute, and I'm gone for 5 minutes. Well, it's because me and her are chatting, and she watches her show on TV. So I be doing this stuff. I can. You know what I mean? But that's it. That's you got a family, man. That's more important than us fucking losers.
I like to say that, dude, because honestly, God, I'm meeting people like this and you guys, it's been a blessing. I was having a rough year, rough go, and meeting this community is awesome.
It's
Meeting the
been
people
great,
like
yeah.
that, it's done more good than bad, and it's got me back to where I wanted to be with fighting. I Before I met the ex roommate dude, you wouldn't. I was constantly fighting for everything because of what I believed in. I
Yep.
understood how the government worked, and I kind of. But after meeting the ex and her parents and
Hmm.
everyone, you gotta fit the mold. Everyone's got to have a 9 to 5. You got to do this. You got to do that. Da, 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 da. And it didn't make anybody happy.
Like a lot
And
of people find it strange that I stay home with the little one while the wife is going doing school or social work. They're like, "But you're the man. You're supposed to be out." Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit with me. I don't want to hear that stuff.
yeah,
My daughter means everything to me. If that means I got to sit home and jerk off all day while she's in school, and then I spend the time with her, all I'm gonna do so. My child means more to me than anything else. If I got to pick between being with her or going out recording cops, I'm going to be with her. If that means that I'm going to lose all the work that I've put in the last 25 years, fuck the work that I put in for the last 25 years. I probably got another 25 years of life left to live that I'm going to put work in. It's my child means more to me than anything. My wife means more to me than anything. And it's all about them. It's making sure that when I go, that they're not going to be bothered. Their rights are going to be honored, especially my child and my grandchildren. I want to make sure that hopefully in the end everybody's rights are honored. Your grandkids and fucking everybody else that comes through here, everybody's families are well cared for. We're not going to get that by sitting back and letting the government and everybody do what they're so used to been doing all these years, and that's the problem. They're used to getting away with it, and I think they're starting to see some action here now. And I tell them that I have more people recording with me, so I think that's starting to make them a little bit nervous, and they're starting to see my videos are going up. My videos are getting likes and lots of shares and stuff. And I mean, I'm putting out business cards with my fucking information on it, so they're like, yeah, he's serious, and they know when I'm serious. You know what I mean? So,
but if you look at history, I'm a big person that not just the history, not the shit they teach us in school, dude. I spent thousands of hours in libraries and looking through like older books and documents written at before the idea. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
And if you follow history, look at history, we're going through the same pattern as every society or civilization that has happened, that has crumbled, that has basically fallen, becoming. You have a period of growth where you learn and everyone thinks everything's better, and then it gets to the point where the government becomes so big and so tyrannical that everything just falls apart. And we're at the point now where society is starting to realize that. It's going to take another 100 and some odd years until the whole flip where the society fights back, and there's going to be a big revolt against all governments, and that's when you're going to see North American civilization collapse, and then it's going to back down to it'll be whatever third world country there is now that's going to rise up to be the next first world country. People just don't see the patterns. They're afraid to look at the patterns and see how history has worked. Like, there's a great show on YouTube. It's I can't remember it off the, but the whole basis of it's a history thing just on civilizations, the history of civilizations is what I think it's called. And it starts off all the way back as far as we have any records going, as far right, and it talks about and works its way all the way forward. And it basically every civilization, it shows you how every civilization has risen and gone through and fallen all because of the same mistakes, and nobody seems to want to learn from it.
And well, that's the thing. Like, they want us to learn from our mistakes when they put us in jail or whatever it is, but they don't learn from their mistakes. How condescending is that to us? You know what I mean? Like, they'll lock us up for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 10 years, and expect us to learn from it. And if we don't learn from it, the parole board don't release us. But they make all these fucking mistakes, and it's like, oh, sorry, well, that was the prior administration that did this. No, it was you, actually, because you're all one. You know what I mean? Whether it's liberal, PCs, ND, whatever the fuck it is, you're all one. You're the fucking government. To me, you're the government. It don't matter whether you're red, white, blue, black, green, or brown. You're all the same fucking thing, man. You all sit down together, you make your laws, you make your legislation, and you pass it. You're not, you know what I mean? You might get one or two people that don't pass legislation, and that's like, get the fuck out of here, man. Do what you can, right?
No, exactly. That's my biggest worry. And now that I don't have someone over my shoulder trying to prevent me from my ideas and doing what I think is right, like before the whole COVID thing hit, for about 6 months or so, I was working with a guy here in Toronto who was trying to get, he'd only been doing it for a month or two, and he was just getting started on the whole predator poaching or predator hunting thing,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a big guy, so I saw one of his videos, and I said, listen, man, I see you're in Toronto. I am too. Whereabouts are you? He's like way out in the West End. He's hard to get to, and I don't have a vehicle. So one night he was trolling one of these guys, and it happened to be closer to where I was. So we made a plan to meet up, and I was going to watch him do his videotaping, and and I was going to get right on board, be one of either I don't have the patience to troll these guys and go through all that talk and all that stuff.
No, me neither.
But I have no problems being out there with the video camera, being the guy pretending to be the uncle, freaking out, making these guys crap themselves on camera and blowing a nut. I'll be that entertainment guy for you, not a problem. I don't care, you know. And my issue with it was the first one I saw, and the guy started making excuses. I literally almost destroyed this dude. The guy with the camera, he's like, "Man, you can't do it. I got to get this." I'm like, "I understand, but I want to." You don't understand. The emotion going through me right now is going to make me want to literally rip this guy's arm off and beat him with it. So
And that's how I get. That's why I couldn't do it. And they're fucking monotonous here with the shit, man, and it's disgusting. But me, I got no time to sit there and listen to them talk and sending dick pics and shit, man. It's like
I can't do it. I can't. Like, I've watched this guy do his lives back in the day before he started showing his face, and he got really good and popular at it. And I was like, how, man? How do you sit there and do that? Like, he's had a couple friends online. They would all sit together and they'd all do it on different phones, and we were like 2 or 3 guys at a time and keep them on. But I'm like, how I don't have the mentality or patience to do that, because I just want to reach through that phone and just start strangling.
Right.
There's
Awesome,
one thing
brother.
I want to do once my channel, and once I start getting things going, and hopefully things pick up better for me once the summer comes, once all that starts going. I'm gonna try and get a hold of this guy and see if I could start putting his stuff on my channel. Just like, hey, check it out, and just have his video linked to my channel, because the more exposure there is to that stuff. Because what I want to do is his Patreon channel. So once I start getting some money, I'll join his Patreon channel. He'll actually list the name of the person, where they work, and all this stuff. Yeah. So that's what I'll do, is I'll go audit those places, because I can get my public auditing and all that stuff and the proper auditing out. Plus, I could also harass somebody that needs to be harassed, and hopefully they lose a job or something comes of it. You know what I mean? 2 birds with 1 stone.
Just watch what you're at when you're doing that stuff, because then you're looking at harassment. Then, you know what I mean? So just be careful on how you do that shit, man. Look into your laws and stuff.
No, I get that. I wouldn't be like, it would be like, okay, because one of the guys actually worked downtown Toronto here at a big restaurant that's on the corner, and once the first, that was like one of his first or second videos of the guys he caught, and once it got online and people started to figure out, they were going down, going to his management, going to his boss, showing the video, saying, "Listen, we're not harassing. This is the truth. This is the guy caught," and he eventually lost his job. So basically, stuff like that. You got the video, you got the proof. Go down, do my audit of everything around, and public audit, and then people come out and complain and be like, "Oh, you see this video right here? That's that person in there. What do you think of that?" I'm just going to go back and videotape the street now.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Just make sure you're doing just shit like that. Don't, you know what I mean? Be careful, because, it's a lot different, man, when you get on that street or you get out to these buildings that aren't actually government buildings. They will try to push your buttons and threaten you with all kinds of crime, and it might not be a crime, and it might be. You just like I said, man, just watch what you're at and keep your head up and don't let them fuck with you, man.
That's the plan. That is the plan. But anywho, I know you got to get up. It's late for you. Take it easy.
Awesome,
everybody
bro.
In chat, thanks for coming by. Everybody who came by to NL's channel, awesome. Thank you very much.
Sincerely appreciate it.
Dirty. And if you're floating around, I'll be bouncing around, see how many lives there are right there. So
I'll be floating around for a little bit. Awesome, everybody.
Live going. I haven't checked because I only got to my one phone. Everything else is dead. But if Invalid's got a live going, then I'll probably throw Dexter on that one. Or if Spirit's got one going, I'll throw Dexter and Spirit.
I know Invalid's got one going. I don't know anybody else right now. I haven't been looking though. But I appreciate everybody that came in. Appreciate you, brother. And I'll see you another time. I'll see you around.
Anytime, brother. Take it
awesome,
easy.
Guys. Take care, man.
In the morning.
I will. Be safe.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.